It's days, a week, weeks even since you ran a big race. Your brain's feeling foggy. You're a little bit lost. You're bumping into things. You don't know where to go. You end up walking the streets late at night, wondering, just thinking.
Is this you after a marathon? or is this you after a few glasses of wine in an evening?
Well, same rule applies, actually.
Do you know what, though? I know exactly what you mean. Like, post-marathon general blues, it's such a weird feeling because you forget the race so quickly. You're left not really knowing what's happened, and you're just kind of wondering what's next.
Yes, that's what we're going to talk about today. I actually ran my half marathon yesterday and I am a broken man. So we're going to be talking about the physical and mental effects of racing on your body and your mind. That's going to be what we'll talk about today.
And also some big news on numbers for next year's London Marathon. And I got an email this week which basically reminded Owen and I of the reason why we do this. Let's get into it.
Oh, that was deep. That was deep. I love that.
I'm so excited for the end of this podcast already.
Well, you should be excited for the middle as well, because there's something coming up that I'm going to ask you and Rick to do, which I know that you're going to enjoy very much. Sarah knows what this
I know
is.
what's coming.
Rick doesn't know what it is, but you will both enjoy it very much.
That's just not what I need. But how are you? You raced a half marathon yesterday.
I did. So
how
I ran
did it go?
Milton Keynes. Well, you know, because you were with me on the bike.
I
you
was
were
there.
Working a bank holiday?
Working a bank holiday. You know what that means?
How's your back?
Double pay.
What? News to me.
My back's fine, actually. Me and Tom went out on our filming bike, which if no one's ever seen before, it's basically like a cargo bike that Tom sits on the back, facing backwards, holding a camera. I sit on the front, pedal him around, and we try and stay together as a couple by the end of the half marathon.
Yeah.
Which actually we did pretty well at.
And just in case anyone tries to cancel us, we're not, there's various stories in the last few years of people sort of sneaking bikes to film on the course. We had permission from Milton Keynes Marathon.
Yeah.
And they
Wore
were amazing
high-vis.
to let us do it. You wore high-vis, you stayed
Wore
away from all of the
helmets.
other people. You were very careful to respect the rest of the runners.
And you were running so quickly that it made our job a little bit easier because it meant that you had loads of space around you. However, then towards the latter stages, you were running with Freddie.
Yeah, legendary former Running Channel cameraman who we roll out full of my challenges.
Yeah, he's so rapid.
Although I'll skip ahead a little bit and said that he was so disgusted with how hard the course was yesterday.
Was he?
And the previous attempt that he did with me I'm trying to run this sub 75-minute half marathon.
Yeah.
First attempt I aborted because I got injured. It was supposed to be in Malaga.
So we ran it for you as a relay. Disgusting.
Then Newark in August, terrible month to run a fast half marathon, very hot and quite a hilly course. And then Milton Keynes yesterday. Freddie, his parting comment to both of us yesterday was, I'm choosing the course next time.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing event, to be fair, Milton Keynes.
Freddie, let's go abroad.
Did you
he was like, he's already been sending me messages about Berlin and Valencia.
Oh, really?
So,
yeah, it was so much fun. Also, what I found the best thing about Milton Keynes is there are so many different events happening all at once.
Yes.
So there is a marathon that sets off at the same time as the half marathon, which sets off at the same time as a marathon relay.
Yeah.
And I said to Tom on the way home, we've got two friends, Katie, who I ran Rotterdam with, who does run, James, her partner, who, runs occasionally.
Yeah.
I said to Tom, I was like, we should definitely do the relay with them because I think that's such a fun.
How many people?
So you have 4 people, I think. I don't think it's 5. 4 people, each doing just over 10K each, and you each do your leg, and then together you've run a whole marathon. But I just think that's such a fun concept.
I agree. That is a good concept.
Really good. We should
Much
do it.
more fun than running a marathon.
When Mo did Milton Keynes Marathon a few years ago, he had pacers, but they were doing the relay.
What time was he going for?
He was going sub 3.
Yeah,
and he
that's a
nailed
tough
it.
course to I mean, no wonder he's now trying to go to sub 230. So you having run sub 3 at Milton Keynes. So it was really well put together course, amazing support on the course as well, really well organised, but the course is definitely challenging. Because I think if you zoom out from the course profile, it's relatively flat.
Yeah.
But there's
But it's
lots
not.
of small hills in it, and those hills really beat me up actually. So
It's quite a fun course if you don't like, big road events where it's just closed road, running on an A road, quite boring in comparison. It's lots of what they called in Milton Keynes, the redways, which is basically just little pavements.
cycle paths that mean that you can cover the whole of the city and go all over on these redways without ever having to cross a road because it goes under underpasses and overpasses.
I don't
and
think I've
stuff.
ever heard of that
Quite
term.
wiggly.
Redways.
Yeah.
They're called the redways because they're made of sort of red tarmac or like
Oh, right.
dark red tarmac.
Your so your wife and your kids came along to
Yes.
support you yesterday,
All of
and
them?
then all of them,
Yeah.
the whole they lined the whole half
They
marathon.
Yeah,
like the route.
brilliant.
And Tom was talking to your wife about the redways. He had never heard that word before.
then he used
and
it
then
about
literally
15,
the
yeah.
whole afternoon
Oh,
he
I
was like,
bet he
"Yeah, on
was
this bit
all
of the
over
redway,
that.
on this bit of the redway."
Yeah.
Yeah, so amazingly, I saw them at about a mile and a half and then about 5 miles and then in the stadium at the end. So it's a stadium finish, which is really cool.
Oh, in the
That
MK
is
Don
good.
Stadium.
Yeah. But yeah, it starts on like proper closed roads, big dual carriageways. I prefer that, the feeling of running
It
on it.
looked sick
Yeah.
as well.
Same as the Great North Run.
For about 5
Yeah,
miles. So you
the start looks
basically,
exactly the same.
basically go out and back and then you dip onto the smaller roads. And there's some of them are roads through because Milton Keynes is effectively made up of a lot of villages that kind of got joined together. And then you on and off these redways as well. So it definitely kept it interesting, but it was by no means flat. And in the first 5 miles, there's actually like some quite steep hills. So I was feeling it early. I was feeling my quads were like I was like, oh my God, my legs are battered already. And the pace we were trying to run, we set off at more or less 3:30 per kilometre, which is 75-minute pace.
That's just disgusting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was really challenging.
That's
Did you
what
run
did in
negative
your
splits?
marathon.
Yesterday, yes, I did. Yeah, more or less, I think. Or it was very, very close.
I bet you were knackered on the bike.
Yeah,
it's
actually, that
electric.
is one thing that I would say. It is an electric bike, but man, I had to pedal really fast to keep up with you, especially because we were going up and down. There was one section where we had to go like up and over a canal, and I just pulled to the side because I was like, Tom, we're not making it up. We're
Yeah,
like,
not with you on
even-
the back.
Even with level 3 electricity, I can't beat Andy up.
Yeah.
There was one point when I genuinely turned to Freddie. I don't think we recorded it, but I just turned to him and I was like, are we meant to have seen Sarah and Tom? Like, because there was a point, because you were with us for quite a big bit at the
Oh,
beginning.
yeah.
And then we then turned off and I was like, we hadn't seen you for ages. And I was like, where
Yeah.
are they? And then you
So-
popped up in this little underpass and
Yeah.
then you were kind of leapfrogging us, right?
Yeah. So basically we were supposed to see you in the middle of all of that.
Yeah.
But Tom took his sweet time coming down from the underpass, and then
Couldn't catch us up again.
we couldn't catch him up in time. And that's
Okay,
when we had
best
our
laid
only
plans.
our only dispute of the race.
Yeah.
Where
you-
he was
Oh,
so
really?
slow getting back to the bike, and then I was like, right, calm, I'm just not going to let him know that it's now tight for time. Pedaled really quickly, and then we got to the bit where we should have
Yeah.
seen you,
And
and
you'd already
we
gone.
knew the run, like the field was too dense by that point, so I was like, right, okay, they've
Yeah.
already gone.
So actually,
It's
like
fine.
we
I
just
saw
to
you,
talk through the race quickly. I'd looked at previous year's results and I thought if I was going to be round about 75 minutes, which was my target, then I'd be somewhere in the top 5 or top 10.
Yeah.
Like that was roughly historical results. And so, yeah, I got to the front of the pen. We headed off and then I turned to Freddie after about 100 meters. I was like, oh my God, either this is a much deeper year than normal or there's some lots of ambitious people in front of me.
Yeah.
And it was probably a bit of a mix of both.
And
Because
the
there's probably 50
relay.
people in front of me at that point.
Yeah.
So that was, the course was challenging, that mentally was challenging. And then probably just the most important thing I want to talk about today, because I need to work out how to do something about it for next time, is I was debilitatingly nervous. Like for the 72 hours beforehand, probably, like the whole weekend, it was Bank Holiday Monday, this race. I couldn't sleep. I had like...
Why?
I don't know. Well, I mean, I
Why?
do know because I cared about it and I've been building up to this since Valencia in December.
What
And
was
it's-
your main fear about it?
Well, like pro debilitatingly
Well, to the point where I
nervous.
feel like it negatively impacted my performance ultimately because I
Okay.
just couldn't sleep
Sleep.
a couple of nights beforehand and I was like really anxious. I had this sensation of like, you know, if you're feeling slightly nauseous and you like start salivating, like your mouth start watering like when you're about to be sick.
Yeah.
That's how I felt for like the whole weekend before it. To the point where I was like, am I actually getting sick? And then I did a little Google search. I was like, is like extra salivating a symptom of nerves and anxiety? And obviously this wasn't a medical response, but the answer was yes, because it can change the way your body feels. Your tummy can start to feel a bit funny. And if your tummy's starting to feel funny, then you can like produce extra saliva. And I just felt awful.
So what was the main thing that you were worried about?
I think I was worried about how hard I found the half the first time.
Yeah.
I was worried about the fact I knew actually deep down the course was going to be a real challenge. But I think mainly I was worried about the fact I'd worked my arse off for 4.5 months training for this thing. Actually longer than that probably. The best training I'd ever done. And then the last 2 weeks with traveling to Boston and then staffing like London and supporting and all that sort of stuff, I just felt so tired, and I was worried that I'd like kind of thrown all that hard work away. And then, I was going to go and not be able to do this thing that I was so desperate to do.
You haven't really had any time off, have you?
No, and I feel completely, I know we're going to talk about this in this episode today, like how you feel after a race. Like now I feel really emotional. I feel like on edge. I feel kind of a little bit empty, that kind of like, well, I've done this thing I tried to do. And now I don't quite know what's next. I just feel absolutely like bone tired, like deeply exhausted.
Can I just ask, what did you do well yesterday?
Oh,
it's a nice positive, Sarah.
Well, Sarah Hartley. Yeah.
What would Josie Perry do?
I totally executed my pacing plan. I was like, looking at my splits, actually, I'm really proud of those. So like, should we fast forward and just give a result? And then, so I was trying to run a sub 75 minutes. Mm-hmm. My actual Garmin time for the half marathon distance was 75 minutes and 1 second.
Jokes. Well,
So,
I
like,
asked
my
Andy to
pacing was
look
on
at
the
that
money.
afterwards, because
75 minutes and 1 second.
official, unofficial.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, we would never post a watch time or a Strava
No.
time or where that is not your time. You have to go with the chip time.
Correct.
But I did say to Andy, because he was obviously upset afterwards, I was like, what does your Strava time say? That might make you feel better. And it was
1 second over.
75.01.
So that did not make me feel better, but it did it sort of did, because I was like, I'd set out to run
You were
exactly
close,
those splits,
yeah.
and I did it.
Yeah.
And 75.22 was my actual time.
Yeah.
22.
You
Yeah,
originally
22
thought it
seconds.
was on your watch as well. You originally
24,
thought it was
I thought.
24. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Right.
You got 2 seconds
Yeah.
back.
Winner.
So the sleep basically did it. The sleep
the
cost
sleep-
you 22 seconds.
And
No,
the hills.
positives.
No,
What
but
else
I
did you
smashed
do
it.
well?
I smashed the pacing.
As in you could
and-
do
Yeah.
it.
And from the beginning almost, no, actually from about 5k in, after there was a really early hill
Yeah.
at about 3k in, 3 or 4k in, that really sapped my legs. From that point, I felt battered. Like I felt exhausted. I was like, how am I going to run another 18k,
Yeah.
17k at this? But I just stuck at it. I was like, well, let's run the kilometre I'm in. That's your mantra. Run the mile you're in. So I did do that. I was just like, right, I'm just going to get to the next beep, and I'm going to get to the next beep, and I'm going to take my gels on time, and I'm going to, I'm going to do all of that stuff. And I just ticked over the kilometres, and I was nailing the pacing. I'd given away a little bit of pace deliberately during the hilly section because I had to.
Yeah.
I'd killed myself to run 3:30 per kilometre up that. But then all of a sudden we got to 15, 16k, 10 miles nearly, 9 miles. And I felt great. All of a sudden the end was in sight. I was like 5k to go. I can do this. I was checking the splits. I was like, I'm going to nail this. I just need to pick it up a tiny bit. So not like start sprinting, just squeeze. And Freddie, for the first time ever, running with him, he was breathing really heavily next to me and not doing very much filming. and that gave me a massive lift.
There we go. Once competitive.
Yeah,
I know, yeah,
but I do think this is a big disadvantage for me being in a race like when I did Newark last year and Milton Keynes.
I don't think I've even seen Freddie breathe. Never mind breathe heavily.
Yeah, exactly. Is in those environments. So I ended up 8th.
Yeah.
And from 9, 10k, I just didn't see anyone else, just me and Freddie running together.
Yeah.
So that moment of feeling like, you know what, I could actually drop Freddie here. Like, that's what went through my head.
You're loving it.
But that gave me a big
Don't worry,
surge
Freddie,
of
we
like
love you.
confidence and
Yeah.
Crush your
competitiveness.
spirit.
Yeah.
What did Andy Hobdale say afterwards?
Oh, he knew it was going to be a tough course. So I think he'd just been like trying not to let me get in my own head beforehand, but afterwards he's like,
Oh, that's
yeah,
really
you could run under
impressive.
74 minutes somewhere flat. Because then it started twisting and turning and
Yeah.
and then you can see on my Garmin Connect elevation profile at between 11 and 12 miles. So like a really key point when I've really got into my rhythm, me and Freddie are properly motoring now. Like I'm running 320 something per kilometre.
Yeah.
And I'm making up the time that I know I need to make up fractionally to get the job done. And then we just hit this like beast of a hill, it felt like at that point. And it was up and over quite quickly. It was probably 30 seconds to get up and over it, but it just destroyed my rhythm and my momentum. And then coming off the back of that, then I just had this like slight flicker of cramp, which I was really terrified about. But, and this is where we can have a bit of fun, you guys.
Okay.
So I had stashed on my person 2 gels. I was planning to take 2 gels on the route. But then...
2?
Took a gel at like 25 minutes and then another gel at 50 minutes.
I suppose when you're only running for, an hour and a bit, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Piece of cake. I'd been paranoid about cramps. I had cramps in both my marathons. I had cramps at the end of my previous half marathon, which scuppered my attempt at 75 minutes. And I'm convinced for me it's not an electrolyte thing, and the science is out anyway as to whether actually electrolyte levels will impact your like cramping. I'm sure it's a muscular fatigue thing. And so I've been trying to get fitter and do all the gym stuff, but I also had a backup, like a break glass in case of emergency, which is pickle juice.
Oh, right.
So pickle juice, I'm not 100% sure of the mechanism.
We touched on this last week.
Yeah, it's something to do with shocking your nervous system out.
People are all over it at the
cramps.
moment. There are signs about it everywhere.
So I had a
people
on
are
courses.
offering it out.
I had a 60 ml sachet of like a gel format.
Yeah.
60 mil.
Yeah, it's quite a lot. And I basically tore
Sound nice.
the top off it, and I started sipping on that, and I didn't have cramp then. It was probably about 3k to go that started, and so then I basically was holding it in my hand and just sipping it as much as I could. But I was very close to being sick.
How did it go?
It tastes disgusting.
'Cause I love a pickle.
Well,
Do you?
okay, so interestingly,
Honestly, I'm a bagel and a pickle. I won't have a bagel without a
let's
pickle.
pause for
or
a second
pickle without a bagel.
because we can find out how much you like pickles because I've brought the pickle juice with me for you two to try right now. So give me a second. I'm going to pour 2 little cups.
I'm not sure about the juice version of it though, because I'm all in for the actual pickle, but just juice.
This is it. Little no cramp shot. It's called.
Has it got anything else in it as well as just raw
So it's
pickle juice?
acetic acid, which is essentially vinegar, I think. Vitamin C and E, sodium, magnesium, and zinc. So
no flavour.
Well, I mean, it's the flavour of pickle juice. Sarah looks so horrified at this.
I'm all in for this.
Okay.
Let
All right,
me
let's try it.
So I would have necked this obviously because I cramped for about half a day doing London. How much are you going to neck?
Well, you've got to have half of it each. I had a whole one of these yesterday.
But we're not running, so let's just have a little.
Give Rick that. Well, actually, no. Give Rick whatever's got more in it.
Whichever's got more in it. Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to have all that.
Right, so I've handed you your lovely glass. Oh, Sarah's just done a retch just from smelling it.
I'm not going to smell it. I'm just going to go straight down. You ready?
You're going to drink
I'm
all
not
of
going
it?
to drink a lot of it. I'm
Okay,
just going to
cheers.
taste it. Cheers, pickle juice. Oh God! Do you know what it tastes like? It tastes like
No.
if you put a McDonald's cheeseburger into a shredder.
Oh, yeah, the pickle in the
I
top
can
bit like the
even
gherkin.
taste
That's
the
what it tastes like.
lettuce.
See, as someone who likes pickles,
Oh, God.
I could drink that. I could do if I knew it worked. I could drink
Yeah.
that. I can work with this.
Well, I was like so desperate not
But
to have
it's
that
strong.
experience of cramping that had really hindered those last two. That obviously sample size from this perspective, n equals 1. Like it's a
Yes.
very small sample of me having tried it.
But
what is
the science though?
I don't know. I think it's something about the neurological pathways or the nerve path or something where it
Right.
tricks it says to your brain, it's such a
You okay?
shock to your taste buds and so on that your brain is then.
I'm taking a. I'm
So horrible.
Let's take some of this.
So bad.
I think we should. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm almost tempted
Sarah's
to sign
brushing
up
her
for
tongue with
another
her fingers.
marathon. No.
No, I don't want coffee.
Are you okay? You got a bad back.
There's no amount
Your face is
of...
falling apart. Are you all right?
No
You
amount
got to
of-
get in a plane to Argentina in a bit.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's literally no amount of...
Okay.
Like,
Just a big no from you.
yeah.
But I did survive the cramps thanks to that. And you asked me about the
making that.
positives, like that was one
Yeah.
of them. And also this the biggest positive. I ran like close on a minute personal best. That's
Well
what I've
done,
ever
mate.
Yeah.
run before in my life.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed about not going under 75 minutes. But I think actually when I think about it most, I find the half marathon distance so difficult. For the marathon, running, say, 3:55, 4 minutes per kilometre for me is easy, in inverted commas. And it's more, I know it's going to get hard later.
Yeah.
Whereas running at 3:30 per kilometres, even though I can run faster than that, my 10K I did recently really gave me loads of confidence. Like I'm so close to that red line right from the very beginning that it's way more attritional.
Can I give you some friendly advice?
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest thing you need to tackle here is the fact that you race like 3 times a year.
Yeah, and that's why it's such a big build up to it, right?
Yeah.
That I was like
So like,
so
just
anxious.
sign up to a trail run. You live in the countryside. Sign up to something where it literally, sorry, I can still taste the pickle. Sign up to something
You
where
might
it
need to bring her a bucket.
literally doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
like the half marathon that me and
But
Tom
nothing
did.
I do doesn't matter to me. Everything's really important.
Yeah, but as in sign
I'm
up,
almost
as in,
vomit
like-
worthy. I'm almost vomit-inducingly nervous for a
No, but
park
as
run.
in, so like Milton Keynes.
Are
No,
you?
but this is because you literally optimize everything. So like Milton Keynes,
park run?
you can run a PB there.
Yeah.
So go out, find a trail run, a hilly 10K, a
Something where
hilly
I can't
half
run
marathon.
fast.
Sign up to your local running club's midweek league.
Yeah.
Literally does not matter. Race other people. Just like
He
take the
hasn't got
fear
time
out.
to do all that, Sarah.
No, I know, but I just feel like this is not conducive to like running a personal best. 'Cause
I know,
you're-
have you got the
you're turning
shakes today?
yourself into a shell of a human being.
Have you got
Yeah.
the shakes? I'm just looking at your hands.
Yeah, look, he's so nervous
Have you got
about it.
Have you got the shakes?
But literally no one cared. As in, like, the best
Yeah.
thing I
But that's
heard
just a
after
come
the
down.
race was, oh, your daughter asked, like, oh, how did you do? And you went, oh, well, I wanted to do this and I didn't do that, but I did run a PB. And she literally stopped listening to you halfway through through when you were talking.
Yeah, and then she went, well, that's brilliant then.
Yeah.
And she's like, and that's really close. So what
Yeah,
are you
exactly,
talking about?
done deal.
Yeah. And then she literally went, right, can we go shopping now?
Yeah, she did.
That's
She
the
did.
attitude you need to
I
have.
remember my agent before the Olympics, I'm incredibly nervous for, just being like, well, everyone's going to be watching EastEnders by Tuesday.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
as in no one
Yeah.
cares. And that was that. I do need that reset. But yeah, it was awful, and I need to get better at dealing with that because it was.
Maybe we'll sign you up to some
Or
fun
Hollyoaks.
races.
Did I tell you I was once on Hollyoaks?
No one cares.
Oh.
Right. Should we...
Harsh.
Speaking of nonsense,
However, you did go for a run today.
Just don't worry about me. It's all.
No?
Yeah.
But you're
no.
recovering from a marathon. This is my segue.
Physically.
Oh, sorry. I
God,
just
are you
got another
okay?
bit of pickle.
I genuinely, I am a little bit worried about you.
Sarah's really.
Oh,
I mean, I
it's
said I
really
felt
not.
nauseous
I
with
am-
nerves. Are you feeling nauseous from the
Because
pickle
he's got the
juice?
shakes. You look
I'm
like you're going to
about-
vom on me.
And how are you doing,
I'm
mate?
fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You
I
are-
got up and went for a run today. Yeah.
How far do you run?
Stop
Just
being
5K?
so smug about
I'm not being
it.
smug.
You're
You
so-
are.
You
You're
ran
very
smug.
5K.
Well,
I thought you were going to say you'd done like a mile. or
no,
like
I just went
2
out
miles.
for a. I, like Andy, felt the physical after effects of running a big race, and I actually did have the shakes as well. But so I didn't go for a run in the first week. You're not supposed to. But this morning I thought, right, 9 days on, I'm ready. Let's get out. And
How was it?
it was good to be back out. Actually, it was
Yeah?
nice. It felt good. But I do feel like my body has needed that week of
Yeah.
doing nothing to actually recover. And I've lost 3 toenails, pretty rough. Like
Lovely.
one's got 3 layers. So but your body needs that. You need to take a step back. And I had the shakes as well.
It's that weird feeling of sort of being, because you are still depleted of kind of energy and energy and fat stores and the stuff that you would have been. Obviously, you spend a lot of time carb loading. Sarah's still struggling with the pickle juice. And then afterwards, like everything has been, you've sort of maxed everything out, and that's how I feel right now. I feel empty of both. Like I slept last night the best I slept in months because I was just, all of that anxiety had lifted because I didn't have to worry about it
That's
anymore.
good.
And had nothing else to think about, and I'd gone completely to my limit. And so I was then just like totally exhausted.
See, I didn't sleep well the day after the marathon.
Yeah, but then I think that's the difference. I mean, still half marathon is hard, but I think that's potentially the difference. Half marathon to marathon. So should we talk about, so 2 things are happening when you've run. We're going to focus on marathons here, but you can kind of apply it to all
I think they apply to
distances.
everything. But so it's probably just the extreme nature of the physical beating that your body takes during a marathon is more. And like the obviously impact load, you've literally taken twice as many steps as you've taken a half marathon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the length of recovery is directly related to kind of how far you're running. So we're going to talk about what happens physically and what happens kind of mentally and neurologically to you.
neurologically. Yeah.
that
Okay,
one.
great.
So physically, we've got microscopic muscle tears and DOMs. I'd say that for me is usually what prevents me from being able to sleep, is kind of not cramp.
So delayed
but just
onset
like,
muscle soreness. So that's
Yeah.
usually worse the second and third day after harder. So you can wake up on the day after a marathon and actually not feel so awful. But then, and this is the same if you start lifting heavier weights in the gym all of a sudden, or do a really extreme track workout that's way harder than stuff you've done before, then you would expect that because you've challenged your body in a different way.
Yeah.
You've gone through this level of adaptation that requires these muscle
And
tears.
there
to
are
repair.
also blood markers that indicate muscle damage. And weirdly, I had a blood test last week, and then it showed up straight away
Oh, really? That you had muscle damage?
that I had
Why
muscle
did you have a
damage.
blood test? Is that too personal a question?
I love an occasional blood test.
Okay.
No.
Just for the crack?
What? Yeah, just go and have an occasional. Don't you do that? No.
No, I haven't had a blood test in like 15 years. I don't know.
I've never had a blood test.
You serious?
Yeah.
Maybe we should. What are you looking for, Rick? So this is an aside.
What am I looking for?
The elixir of
I'm-
youth. Just
No, right, let's stick to
No,
topics.
actually, when it comes to what's going on in muscle damage, I think they look for stuff like is it creatine kinase,
Kinase.
you think they do it? Creatine kinase, yeah. I think.
kinase, and what's
Yeah,
it
go
called?
on, try and say this one.
Lactate.
Dehydrogenase.
I'm glad he had 2 goes at it.
Yeah.
And so like specifically those 2 can take 6 to 8
8 days
to
after a
normalise
marathon.
after
So I had a blood
marathon.
test after about 4 days, and all those markers were heightened.
But I think that's something that's interesting to think about, because I think quite often we will say, so many people will say like, listen to, just in general life, listen to your body, go off of how you feel. But I do think when it comes to marathons, you need to also consciously be aware of like what is happening inside your body as well, because most people, especially now with like social media and just like how fast stuff is in day-to-day life, it feels like ages since you ran a marathon. Like absolutely ages to me, might not to you, but it's literally 9 days since. So your blood markers might have only just stabilized, but I'm guessing you now feel
I feel
great.
back to normal now, but last week I wasn't surprised when those blood markers were heightened.
Yeah, but I think most people,
Because in the week after, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, physically you feel sore, but you're not supposed to run, are you, in the week after a big race?
I think pros might, and like more experienced runners who regularly do, you know, a large volume of miles every week, but for a regular person, I don't think you should rush back, and giving it that first week off is very sensible. You can get out and do low impact stuff, swimming and cycling and things like that. So it's not like you can't exercise. But yeah, your body's taking a beating, and this applies to like half marathon, 10k, 5k. If you've gone really hard, maybe the length of time doesn't need to be the same, but you do still need to just give yourself a chance to deal with all these things. The same things will be true. The microscopic muscle tears that then lead to delayed onset muscle soreness. You're going to have an inflammatory response as well, which actually you need. And that's an interesting, this is an aside, but I think, don't come at me, I'm not a doctor, but like when you get an injury, like an acute muscle injury, like you might have a muscle tear or something, then obviously if you think about the way pain medication is marketed, it's often anti-inflammatory, like ibuprofen's an anti-inflammatory pain, an NSAID, like a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. So that a lot of people might think, well, I've felt a ping in my calf on my run, like I felt like I've slightly torn my muscle or a muscle strain or something. I'm going to take something anti-inflammatory like ibuprofen straight away to try and knock that on the head. But actually your body needs the inflammatory response to recover and to repair. So inflammation is not always a bad thing.
You and I have talked about this, about when you should not take paracetamol and ibuprofen. Yeah, about if you've had a bit of a knock while you've been training.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's a lot going on with your immune system, like in general, because doing big races can create this kind of open window of immune suppression, which makes you more susceptible to upper respiratory infections. Have you two got ill straight after a race?
Do you know what was really weird before Rotterdam? I got ill before.
Right.
So I'd heard the stuff about like anti-inflammatories. And so I was like, right, well, I can't really take like ibuprofen on the day, but I started to feel like I was getting a cold the like a couple of days before. I don't know if it was just
like paranoia,
mixture of like getting on a plane as well. I just felt really stuffy.
You sort of feel dry, don't you?
But I was like, oh no, I'm getting ill. What am I going to do? And then on marathon day felt absolutely fine. And then afterwards felt 10 times worse. And I think that's probably because your immune system is down, especially like if you go back into work or like if you've got kids, any cold that you might have been able to get rid of.
Yeah,
you probably can't.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But also, I think there's the impact of like, it's like if you remember final exams at university, or like you're building up to a massive thing, and you sort of that you can't get ill, so you kind of don't. And then the moment that your whole body and psychology relaxes after you've done your final exam, that's when you get ill.
That's why I also think I'm always hyper aware that I might get ill in the taper. Because I feel like sometimes
because you're almost giving your body a chance to get ill.
Yeah, because like it's that like weird reverse thing where you have to allow your body to recover to then be fresh for race day, but then also you're allowing your body to recover. So you have to, I feel like you have to think about the fact that you're not done yet whilst also like relaxing.
But there's all this stuff going on. But what can we actually do to stop it? I mean, when you hear that you might experience respiratory fatigue or even spinal shrinkage, I mean, it doesn't sound very nice. So, but is there anything you can do to stop it?
I think it's just being really sensible post-marathon.
And I would argue as well, I mean, it's a hard one, but broadly speaking, the better trained you are to take on something, like the more that you've done to get ready to take on that extreme event or that race, then the quicker your recovery is going to be and the quicker all of these markers will return to normal. Yeah. But only if you're sensible. So if you finish your marathon and then spend the next 2 or 3 days partying and drinking heavily and all of the stuff that you know will hamper your recovery anyway, because the combination of alcohol and caffeine makes sleep quality poorer, etc. Like if you're doing all that stuff, then you're much more likely to get ill because you know you've suppressed your immune system, all of this sort of stuff. So it's kind of being well trained in the first place, and then just give your body a chance. Eat relatively healthily, sleep as much as you can, or spend time resting. Do a little bit of stuff to stay active. Like before we go on to maybe what we should call the reverse taper, which is almost like tapering back up to exercise in the opposite way to what you did before a big race, is just addressing the other things that I'm experiencing right now. So like central nervous system fatigue, like just, you talked about the shakes. I think that's related to that. Like you've put your body under a lot of stress, the hormone balance is off, all of the stuff that would be helping you to recover is going to take a little bit of time to come back up to normal levels anyway. So your sort of ability to recover is impaired. And I feel cognitively
foggy.
Yeah. Maybe that comes across in this episode.
Oh, sorry,
I don't know.
pickle juice. Another thing as well that I think is quite interesting is brain myelin depletion. So recent MRI study has shown that when the body runs out of glycogen during a marathon, the brain can actually start burning its own myelin lipids, which is the fatty insulation around nerve fibers for energy. That does sound quite alarming, but apparently researchers believe that this temporary myelin depletion acts like a workout for the brain, and the myelin rapidly regenerates within a couple of weeks to a few months.
It's quite a long time though.
But that is quite a long time.
Couple of months.
And I think that's like another reason people run marathons in all different ways, but especially like if you are racing flat out, you're on your red line, or if potentially your training hasn't quite gone to plan and you've lined up and kind of attacked the marathon without necessarily doing all the things that you should have done. Both of those things are probably going to lead to kind of a longer recovery. So just bashing out like marathon after marathon is really going to start to take a toll.
If Rick were bashing out marathon after marathon, it might actually explain his like general brain functioning levels.
Yeah, you just secretly running a marathon a week.
I just feel very calm.
Yeah, great. Okay, perfect. Well, should we talk about the reverse taper then? Because I think this is something that I've got wrong now twice in my past 2 marathons. So I need to listen to this because I think I've got very confused. To me, a week is a long time. So like if, I take my full week off, I run a marathon on Sunday. For London and Rotterdam, I took my full week off. Then on Sunday, I went for a gentle run, and then really just picked things back up again as if it
and
was
then
normal.
hurt your back.
And then hurt my back.
Yeah.
Then I went to the physio, and apparently I have no core. So we're unraveling like a whole load of stuff over here. But I think this is a very good idea that I should have done.
Yeah, and even straight after the race yesterday, Coach Andy texted me, and I misread it to start with. I misread it as, I was like, oh, that's generous. I thought he'd given me 3 weeks off. He said 3 days. He said, don't run for 3 days at least. Just give you because I was saying to him, I just feel so beaten up after that. I feel so like I've gone to zero.
And it's hard because you have especially you ran a huge PB, there will be loads of people who will have felt the fittest they've ever felt, and regardless of whether your race goes well or it doesn't go well, that's actually something we're talking about in the Running Channel Club podcast episode this week, of kind of what to do if things don't go to plan. But sometimes it's really hard to go from I'm the fittest I've ever been, I don't want to lose this fitness.
That's discipline.
I need to bank it.
That's discipline, because actually in the long run you're going to do yourself more harm than good.
Yeah,
you don't
need to
give yourself time
taper back up to it. So in the first week, depending on how much you run, potentially just don't run at all. Focus on recovery. Can do some cross training. My only thing with cross training is if you never cross train, I don't feel like it's the time to introduce it post-marathon. This might just be a me thing, but I tried to do that after London, and as someone who never swims and never cycles,
I
just feel like it was absolutely pointless for me.
You use different muscles as well, and then all of a sudden those muscles are and that movement makes you slightly more sore.
And I just feel like that's where I went wrong. So, I went out for lots of dog walks because I do that normally anyway, but don't suddenly, see everyone going out for swims and cycles and be like, right, I am Tom Daly / insert cyclist here.
Tom Daly, not famous for swimming.
I know, but I mean, he has to swim out of the pool.
He wears swimming trunks.
Yeah.
I think
that's the connection.
Tom Peaty is who I was thinking of.
Tom Peaty, Adam Peaty.
Adam Peaty.
Oh, wow.
Give us some more pickle juice.
Week 2.
How's that cognitive function?
So good. I'm on week 5.
I think if you're in the first week post-marathon, you're putting on a pair of Speedos and going up the 10-metre board for a bit of light cross-training to do some gymnastics, diving into the pool. Then... Right,
so week 2, this is when you can start to reintroduce running back in. But it's short, it's easy.
Yeah, it might be walk jog. It might
chilled
be every
out.
other day. Like, it's just, don't put the pressure on yourself to get out there and do anything that's too intense. And you could use this just shortened after a 10K or a half marathon. Just give your body the chance to recover. So it might just be a couple of days instead of a week. And then it might be easing yourself back in something where you're like, you've asked your body to do something really extreme.
Yeah.
If you've run a personal best, it's the fastest it's ever done something before. So, give yourself a chance.
Basically, you're kind of in a taper for
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
7 weeks.
Well, maybe 7 weeks.
8 weeks.
So it's a big chunk of your year. You're tapering down.
What are you talking about?
Well, if
Yeah,
you do
'cause
a marathon, you're
into
tapering
it,
from 3.5 weeks,
3-week
probably.
taper.
3 weeks
Yeah.
out. And then on the way back,
marathon, and then 3-week taper up. So
3
that's
weeks
like
up.
6-7 weeks.
Okay.
Where you're just in the taper.
Yeah.
I can
And
understand
Andy
that.
really
long on-
doesn't.
That's long on both
He
sides, isn't it?
really
I think
doesn't.
3.5 weeks would be a long time to taper for.
Kip Limo told me that's what he tapers for going into a marathon.
Okay, I think his taper's probably relative though. Like, he's probably still running 150K a week in those.
Same as Mark in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty hefty tape.
Right, well, hopefully that's helped. If you have raced or run a marathon recently, do email in podcast@therunningchannel.com. Send us a voice note if you've got any
Oh,
questions.
please do. Yeah.
Voice note.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
now, should we cover some exciting news?
Let's do it. I remember a year ago, we were amazed that 1.1 million people applied to be in the London Marathon 2026. But they've gone ahead and beaten that number.
1.3 million
Yeah,
of
quite
us
a bit more than 1.3.
have entered our
between
name
1.3
in.
and 1.4, isn't it? It's
Andy,
like,
is your name in the ballot?
no.
Rick, your name in the ballot?
No. My brother's
Mine is. I just feel like it's fun. I feel
Got to
like I'm
be-
missing
gotta
out
be in
on.
it.
Yeah, you
It's like
need
premium
that.
bonds.
Like, sorry, not you.
It is like premium
Not
bonds.
this
The
time.
payout
Have
was
you
very
got
different.
premium bonds?
Yeah.
I mean,
Never won anything.
never.
I think so, no.
Might want to reconsider your choices.
But next year, it might be that a record number of people get in through the ballot because they're considering doing it across 2 days.
So it might be 100 plus thousand.
120. If they
I
got
was
60,000 people
one of the
this year.
surprises
Well, they did 60,000 this year.
Yeah.
of our kind of live from London Marathon in 2026 was when we asked people. I know sometimes when you ask people to put their hands up, if you've got to make a movement, you're less likely to do it. So, but we asked people whether or not they thought it was a good idea to have the London Marathon across 2 days. Overall, almost everyone thought that was a bad idea.
Yeah,
not
hardly
many
anyone put
people
their hands
thought
up
it
to
was
say
a
it was
good
a good
idea.
idea. And anecdotally, just a few people that I then asked afterwards about why. They were like, well, does it in a way feel like less special
Yes.
because more people are doing it? And doing it over 2 days, like, is one day more special than the other? And do you want to be... So I would think maybe it's more special to do the one where there's going to be 2 days because I don't think they're going to do it
Yeah.
every other year after this. I think it's a one-off.
Nah, I reckon they're stress testing it.
Maybe. You
I think
they're
they're stress
I
testing
feel like
it.
you promise it as a one-off, and then if it
to get
goes
people to
well,
sign up to it.
and then in years from
It was a
now,
brilliant
in
marketing exercise if
2060,
they
it'll be
wanted
London
to-
Marathon Week.
If they wanted to exceed last year's world record breaking
60,000.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
then this was a way
I mean,
to do
Horse
it.
Guards Parade was rammed.
I
So
don't
anything
think
they
you-
can do to make
yeah.
that small, like less crowded. would
You
be great.
can't go...
Yeah.
I don't think they can go much bigger than what they've done
No, I don't think you get 100,000 people
because
doing
it was crazy busy. in some
I'd
parts.
want to do it on day one, though. I think if
Well, there
I
you go.
were
That's the
to
problem,
take
Sarah.
part.
So
I feel like
there
day
you go.
two
feel like
is
day
a
two-
terrible.
So if you do it on day two, there might be fewer crowds. People wouldn't come out as much.
No, I think there would be more crowds on day two, personally, because look at it this way: if you have day one, you taper, you get your bib, whatever, la 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 la. Then you go out, you run your marathon on the Saturday, done. Day
Then you
two,
can support
out
those
you
people are
come,
supporting.
support. Simultaneously, you have got the two best experiences at London Marathon. You've run it and you've supported it in one weekend.
I
Bob's your uncle.
I haven't
off
seen
you go.
what they're planning to do about the elites because I think we've speculated that the only way surely to do this is they'd have to have the men on one day and the women on the other day.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Otherwise, you remove the prestige of like
And
Yeah.
hopefully
running on the same
for
streets
the-
as like world record holders or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the same for like the wheelchair athletes as well.
Yeah.
Of setting those off.
Yeah, so I was
kind of the
thinking men
elite
and
also
women
got-
both.
Yeah.
Shut
Yeah.
down, one of the biggest cities in the world
twice. I mean, it's
for a weekend.
kind of shut down already on the Saturday, really, isn't it? For every transport
all of
officer
it.
in London
Yeah.
is like, no.
Yeah.
I think it would be very special if they do pull it off. I think it would be cool. I think I just want to support both days.
do you
I
think
think it
there'll
will be
be-
interesting to see whether the people of London can be bothered to go out twice. But if you think like people go to Glastonbury for 5 days, so really same.
It's not the same, is it?
No.
Do you think you get different medals? Saturday medal and a Sunday medal?
No.
It'd be just one medal.
No, yeah.
Do you think there'll be people that try and sneakily do it? There'll be people who try and sneakily do it twice and get 2 medals. That would definitely be against the rules. But there must. I mean, that's the sort of thing someone.
Yeah,
would try
because
and
it'll
do,
be
right?
one entry for good for age.
Well, it looks
one
like it's
entry
going to
for
happen.
championship.
So we will review.
Yeah, we're going to find out.
Yeah. Questions. John from Birmingham. Just wanted to send an email over to say thank you because this podcast has helped me to a 4-hour, 23-minute and 1 second chip time at Newport Marathon.
Woohoo!
And something I'm even more proud of, I achieved a negative split.
Oh, you've been
Yes,
out there
John.
with producer Owen.
Yeah. I've been running for just over 12 months. And as most runners have been on a
I'm
bit
so
of
sorry,
a
I
journey.
just burped pickle juice.
My God, still going. She's still going.
This is the gift that keeps on giving.
In 2021, I weighed 23 stone at the age of 30. I was in a fairly dark place mentally and physically. Then in 2023, I had quite a turnaround and got down to 15 stone.
Wow.
I did this making a lot of changes in my life, eating well, strength training, extra steps, but also changed my job and took myself out of an unhealthy relationship. Roll on 2025. I began with Couch to 5K in February, did an official half in April, and then did Western half in October in just over 2 hours. I had caught the bug, but didn't have anyone to speak to about running or even listen to, which is where I found you guys. By the end of 2025, I got bored waiting for the next episode to come out, so I started from the beginning of the Running Channel podcast. Good God, those first ones.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
haven't
what it would be
listened
like
back.
to go back and listen to them, whether it would be
I think we'd
interesting. 'Cause
cringe.
there was
You
a
should
lot
all
of-
go and listen
I
back.
remember a
Yeah.
lot of banging on about Rick pressing buttons, and Rick
Yeah.
definitely spoke a lot less. He's muscled his way in, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, he
The
has
first couple of
muscled
months it
his
was just
way
Rick
in.
pressing
Yeah,
buttons.
thank God.
And then he muscled his way in
yeah.
to try and talk more. Just kept bringing more and more notes in to try and do little monologues.
I'm going to continue
Okay,
John's message. You guys have kept me company on the 3-hour long runs and what can be a very boring 2 easy runs a week. All 3 of you have said plenty of times that smiling can make the run easier, and I often find myself laughing running through Birmingham as Rick, who I'm confident is, there we go.
Who I'm
Are you not
confident
reading
is
this?
very intelligent, comes out with some absolute waffle. Correct.
Accurate. Are we confident he's very
My
intelligent?
problem is, shut up, Cambridge. My problem is,
Oh,
I'm on episode 100.
Just a minute, Rick. Speaking of you pushing buttons in the first 3 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks of the podcast, I think I've just found your buttons to push.
My problem is I'm on episode 153 and I have only 13 episodes left.
Oh, boy.
I'm not sure if it's my age or personality, but I find it difficult to meet new people. And although I've pondered running clubs several times, I haven't taken that leap. How do I approach finding a running club? And do you have any advice on how to jump into the initial sessions? Thank you for all the help and advice you've given me over the past 1,000 kilometers.
Yes, John.
What an
Stop it.
email.
Yes,
what
John.
an email.
So good.
That was lovely because it said lots of nice stuff about us and slightly took the mickey out of Rick. So that's the perfect email.
Yeah.
If anyone's looking for one to actually guarantee getting read out, then that's the balance to strike.
Can I suggest a slightly controversial approach?
Go.
So I think with a running club, it would actually be better if you're nervous about it to go to a interval session rather than join an easy run. You might think like, oh, I'll go for an easy run. I can chat with people. That would be lovely. But you're signing yourself up for like a continuous run where, you know, you potentially do have to keep up,
Yeah.
or like you might be thinking about that. So I would
On
say,
the track, you can walk at any time, or you can
Yeah.
regroup in the recoveries. Like there's a lot more scope for that.
and you might only have to, because that's what Tom did with the running club we're both part of. Did I tell you, by the way, I got him signed up? He goes every
Tom
week.
joined the
North
running
Hearts
club.
Road Runners.
North Hearts Road Runners.
Yeah, or
Tom's
North
a member.
Hertz, as you called them for a couple of months.
Brilliant. Tom goes along to that, and you only have to run with everyone like to the location where you're doing your intervals, which is just a random, little side road.
Yeah.
And then do your interval session, which, you might be running with other people, you might find people to kind of stick onto the back to, or you might be running by yourself, and then you all meet up at the end and then run back, but then you'll have a coach there as well. I think that, to me, is the least stressful way of turning up to a club running session compared to, a long run or a tempo run or an easy run where you're like in a group pressured.
The only thing I would add is just to remember that running clubs are, the vast majority of the time, almost all the time, incredibly safe spaces of like people just like you, who might be introverted or extroverted and might also be worried about talking to people. But the brilliant thing about going for a run with somebody else is you don't have to, like, you're not sat across the table from them, looking them in the eye, having like deep and meaningful conversations. But I end up having and have often had most of my like most meaningful conversations sometimes in the middle of a long run, because you're with someone that you know pretty well. You spend a lot of time with them. You don't have to talk. That's like, you know, when it's good friendship, because it's like companionable. But then you can talk because you're not looking. You can talk about some fairly deep stuff sometimes. So, and
it's a lovely time of year to join a running club, because now if it's in the evenings, it's nice and light in the UK, and then if you're like happy with it, you can then continue it into the winter, and it literally gives you so much accountability on like a dark, cold, rainy, wet, horrible night to go out, run with some other people, and share the experience of running in torrential rain.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's when you're not looking at someone directly and you're running, or I always give Chantal really bad news in the car. So, you know, when she's driving, so she can't react. So,
to be fair, I have had some of the best conversations.
We're not going to the Maldives this year. We're going to Bognor.
Nothing wrong with Bognor. It's a very nice place.
Bognor's lovely.
Sorry, I was confident that I was intelligent, but it turns out I've just got a load of waffle coming out my mouth.
But also, as a final side note, all of the stuff that John's described there is what the Running Channel Club is. It's not a club where people are necessarily meeting up in real life to go for a run together.
Although we do have location-based tribes where you can find other people.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just lots of lovely people where it is a really safe space. You can ask all of your questions in there and get them answered by people who are kind of going through the same thing, and they're all over the world, so it's pretty cool.
And people like John will be meeting people who feel the same way. There'll be lots of people go to a running club going, oh, I'm a bit nervous about meeting someone new. You're meeting like-minded people, and that's why you're going to running club, to meet up with like-minded individuals who want to get out there and exercise.
Yeah, and all they want to do is talk about running. So you're
in the right place.
Yeah, exactly.
You're in the right place.
Best of luck, John. Let us know how it goes.
This time next week, we're going to be doing this show not from London.
Yes. However, the next episode you hear will be from London.
Oh,
and then the week after that, we will be coming to you live-ish from Argentina.
Buenos
Aires. So look forward to that. If we have any listeners who are from Buenos Aires, email in podcast@therunningchannel.com. We would love to pick your brains on some stuff.
Yeah. Get in touch.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.